sidewalk so he could choose where he wanted to be, and he was having a look-see around when this poor girl came round the curve and bam! She narrowed her eyes at the offensive gnome, causing one of her false eyelashes to dangle. I have a mind to put him in the backyard. I don't care how much he complains. I wolfed down the Twinkie and chased it with the tang, wincing inwardly at the artificial taste of the powdered orange drink, but hiding my distaste from the kindly, odd couple. Thank you so much, I said with an appreciative smile. That really hit the spot. Then I took my leave, regretfully explaining that I had an important appointment. The theme from The Twilight Zone played in a recurring loop in my head as I power-walked across town. I couldn't afford to be late for my very important date. My first day of work at my new job. A big step for me, an exciting step, but also a little scary. In an attempt to settle my first day jitters, I made a mental note to ask my new boss for the scoop on Beehive Woman, and to let me know if there were any more like her in town. I hadn't lived in a small town since I was a kid in Wisconsin, but even that was an urban metropolis next to this sleepy little place. Apple Springs, California. After the noise, congestion, and traffic of the Bay Area, where I had lived and worked for the past 2 decades, this tranquil town an hour east of Sacramento was a welcome respite. My new beginning. A beginning I was at last ready for, and looking forward to, after the pain and loss of the past couple of years. I stopped in front of the 160-year-old wooden building to catch my breath and dug out my compact. Yes, the goose egg had receded. I twitched my brown bangs around, covering it. But by tomorrow, I'd look like Sylvester Stallone in one of the Rocky movies. Not quite the professional, dignified impression I'd hoped to make. I glanced at my watch. 8:30, right on time. Pushing open the side door of Faith Chapel Episcopal Church, I stepped inside and removed my light jacket and scarf to reveal my clerical collar. Hello? An empty reception area with worn green carpet, an ancient plaid love seat, and an army surplus desk holding teetering stacks of paper and a vase of tired silk flowers greeted me. Beyond the vacant desk stood a closed door with the faded word rector in the center. Father Christopher? Hesitantly, I knocked on the door. No answer. I checked my phone. No messages or missed calls. I knocked again, harder. Christopher, I called out. It's Hope. Nada. I turned the doorknob and poked my head in. Another silent and empty office. Except this one was chaos. Papers everywhere. Desk, chair, filing cabinet, even the floor. It looked as if a tornado had swirled through, leaving a swath of office supply destruction in its wake. As I entered, however, I noticed pathways among the myriad piles and realized it was organized chaos. Somewhat. Christopher Weaver, my new boss, had warned me he was a bit of a pack rat and had become somewhat disorganized since losing his secretary a few months ago. He hoped I could help bring order to the office, and my inner neatnik itched to jump in and start tidying up right then, the byproduct of a clean freak mother. She had instilled within me the mantra, a place for everything and everything in its place, at an early age, and it had stuck. Unlike most of her other maxims, such as never wear white after Labor Day, let your husband wear the pants in the family, and always, always be a lady. This lady wondered where her boss might be. I thought of texting him, but then remembered he was old school and didn't text. He had a cell, but mainly for emergencies, and had confessed, embarrassed, that he often forgot to turn it on. We had agreed to meet at the church at 8:30 so he could give me a complete tour of the buildings and grounds, including the small chapel and